And I see we have here coming to the stage Morven McCechnie, the Lady Laird of Strathbonny. Morven McCechnie, everybody!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, come on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening! That's more like it. Now, as our lovely host said, I am Morven McCechnie, the impoverished Lady Laird of Strathbonny. Now, you might be wondering where Strathbonny is. Well, if you can imagine, away up the top shelf of Scotland, there's a place called Docherty, and there's a place called Brigadoon. And Strathbonny is in between Docherty and Brigadoon. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Now, do you like my outfit?
That's lovely.
If truth be told, none of it's mine. Ladies and gentlemen, I've come down here this weekend to sell the family jewels. Because the castle, the bonny castle where I grew up, is absolutely knackered. It needs a new roof, it needs new windows, it needs new everything. So I've come down to Glasgow town to sell my jewels at Anita Manning's auction house. Now there is an auction tomorrow, I'm hoping. See, round about 11:20 tomorrow morning, send out good thoughts to Morven McCechnie, because she really needs the money. Now, up in my estate, there are lots of boys and there are lots of girls. And our favourite time of the year, of course, is the summer. And in the summer, everything's blooming and everything's gorgeous. And, well, the boys and girls get a wee bit frisky. And sometimes I have to go out and shoo them away from my rye field. In fact, sometimes I catch them coming through the rye. Gin a buddy, meet a buddy coming through the rye. Gin a buddy, kiss a buddy, need a buddy cry. Ilka lassie has her laddie, name they say aye. Yet all the lads they smile at me when coming through the rye. You better believe it. Gin a buddy, meet a buddy, coming frae the tune. Gin a buddy, kiss a buddy, need a buddy froon. Ilka lassie has her laddie, name they say aye. Yet all the lads they smile at me when coming through the rye. Mind the train, there is a swain, a dearly loom a sell. But what's his name and what's his hame, I dinna care to tell. Ilka lassie has her laddie, name they say, aye. Yet all the lads they lure me well. When coming through the rye. Thank you. Oh, you're so generous. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can be at Anita Manning's auction house tomorrow morning, 11:20, lovely diamond bracelets and all the rest are very much for sale. Thank you so much.
That's terrible. A beautiful woman like that having to put everything up for sale. I hope you raise a lot of money tonight and tomorrow.
One was dark.
unveiled goods. Okay, we'll move straight along now. And we have a young man coming to the stage, and he is singing one of Burns's most popular and rousing common man songs. The one that sums up what Burns means to us and what we meant to Burns. So it's Euon with A Man's a Man for all that.
If I can remember it. Is there fools? Oh, yes.
You're a man for all that.
I mean, he has the opposite problem, Peter. It always comes with me, sometimes it's hard to get out.
Yeah.
Is there for honest poverty that hangs his head and all that? The coward slave we pass him by, we dare be poor for all that. For all that and all that, I can't remember the line. Something. What though unhamely fair we die, we're odd and grey and all that. They fools their silks and knaves their wine. And all that. For all. You know, I was planning to sing this seriously, but this is turning out, I think, better than how it would have if I'd remembered the lyrics.
When you were singing it, when we came in, you were singing, you were rehearsing. But you've looked after all of us. That is what we're saying. How brilliant you looked after us when we came in. So we will help you to sing this song.
Is there for honest poverty that hangs his head and all that? The coward slave we pass him by, we dare be good for all that. For all that and all that, our toils endure and all that. The rank is but the guinea stand. The man's a man for all that. though unhamely fare we die, we're hard and grey and all that. Gie fools their silks and knaves their wine, a man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, the tinsel show and all that. The honest man, though e'er sae poor, is king of men for all that. You see on Bucky called a lot for straps and stairs and all that. Though hundreds wash and bad is what, he's but a good for all that. For all that and all that, his ribbon star and all that. The man o' independent mind, he looks and laughs and all that. A prince can make a belt at night, a marquis duke and all that. But an honest man's upon his might, good faith he man afford that. For all that and all that, the dignities and all that, the pith, the sex and pride o' a higher rank than all that. Then let us pray that come it may, as come it will for all that sense and worth o'er the earth shall bear the gree and all that. For all that and all that, it's coming yet for all that man's a man the world o'er, shall brothers be for all that.
Can I get a go?
It's Burns night, anyone kicks in, you know. On you go then.
And this is a famous Burns one. Aka paka, yaka apa, eka. Oh no, wait a minute. That's Aka Paka's thing. Tea moose. What about tea moose? We sleek it, cool and timorous dessert, covered in cherries and a fresh cream skirt. I see you tremble in anticipation as my spoon comes close to your sugary nation. Oh, if a pudding could be blessed with legs, your fragile self and the whites of eggs. I see you cannot run as my spoon descends. A lick, a lip smack, and your life ends. I'm forgetting the next part.
Anyone else want up?
Sorry. No longer is this a world of moose and man, but empty bowl and whipped cream can. You cannot run as my spoon descends. Cannot run as my spoon descends. Cannot run as my spoon descends.
Something in the poem ends.
Something. Anyway.
That's typical.
One more. Okay. I've left my cheat sheet back there. Somebody stole it. Anyway, how about ode to a fart?
Yes, please.
Oh, that sleek horrible beastie lurks in your belly after a feastie. Just as you sit down among your kin, there starts to stir an enormous wind. The neats and tatties and the mushy peas start working like a gentle breeze. But soon the pudding with a sonsy face would have you blown all out of the place. No matter what you do, all buddy's going to have to pay. Even if you try to stifle, it's like a bullet out of a rifle. You hold your bum tight to the chair to try to stop the leaking air. Shift yourself from cheek to cheek and pray to God it doesn't reek. But all your efforts go asunder. Out it comes like a clap of thunder. Out it comes like a clap of thunder.
Sound effect.
Aye, anyway. Ricochets around the room. Mighty me a sonic boom. God almighty, it fairly reeks. I hope I haven't shit. Brilliant. Take the bog a better scurry. Ah, what the hell, it's no my worry. All about the folk are choking, one or two are really boking. I'll feel better for a while. I can't help but raise a smile. It was him! Oh, I was staring glower. Alas, he's just peeled out. You dirty bugger, they shout and stare. I'm not that welcome anymore. But ere you go, let your wind gang free. That's just the kind of job for me. What a fuss at Rabbie's party. Out of the sake, a one wee farty.
When Blytheswood's whores all hit the street, and dealer junkies meet. When time is cad at all the pubs, and folk move on to raves and clubs. While clubbers deal and take and fix, are getting high to take their kicks. We think no on the journey aim, the last missed buses, subways, trains. But it's too late to go back now. Where sits our nagging narky coo. Facing the telly, she nurses her wrath, chain smoking her fags, and well pissed off. This truth struck poor old waster Tam, as through Glasgow's dreek streets he ran. Great Glasgow, who so proudly can claim better shit than Amsterdam. Oh Tam, had you no been so saft, your wife's advice was no that daft. She aye called ye a waste of space, drugged up, fucked up, and off your face. That for days and weeks on end, your cash on stash you'd spend. That every night you're with your mates, spaced out in some hell-hole estate, and at every wee odd whimmer notion, ye popped another pill or potion. And even when you go arrested, and all the Polish jibes and jested, that when you're next held in possession, you'd never see another session. Or at least you'd take a spell behind bars that mak the gates of hell. Oh, taxpayers had give a stash. To know how much owe your cash is wasted on counsel for Neds and Harrys, who take mere magic dust and fairies. But to your tale, one rainy night, Tam looked like death and felt like shite. Sitting in a doorway in a piss-stained close, he'd gie his errand for one wee dose. Went through the door. When through the door came dealer Johnny, what Tam loved more than his brew money. The happy hours they'd spent on stairways, doing more trips than British Airways. Afore he knew, Tam's night was marked, as stuff was took and acid drapped. Pale pals arrived to Johnny's dive, to watch his was or come alive. Sitting in glaze-eyed pale nirvana, a cold kebab their heaven's manna. Outside storms blew torrential muck, but Tam just couldn't give a fuck. The man was tripping out his tree on a fair fortnight trip for LSD. Now as the playboy is happy with 100-fold lumbers, or the housewife with 6 winning lottery numbers, sod money or fame, our Tam felt glorious, invincible, powerful and victorious. But good trips may just come and go. You buy a ticket for an unseen show, or board some fast high-flying plane which soars just to crash down again. Or like the summer sunshine end of noon, which shines 1 hour then pisses down. Or a brilliant drunken one-night shag for waking next to some old hag. Now Tam's night has come to an end. The time has come to leave his friends. Half fallen out into the night, he spies a neighbour's unchained bike. Just waiting, tempting in the storm, to pinch it wouldn't cause no harm. And seeing the storm was so ferocious, to steal a bike's no that atrocious. So off Tam pedalled, void of guilt, into wind, rain, mud and silt. Soaked fae, heat to night shoes, Tam nonchalantly hummed the blues. He just turned round to watch his back, lest some night creature should attack. Now Tam's bike swayed and slipped and lurched towards a haunted, disused church, where witches, demons and creatures gory featured in all the tunes ghost stories. There goes a page, right? And through the street down which Tam pedalled, with tales of horror and murder were riddled. On the corner, 3 wains had been shot in cold blood, and old Junkie Charlie had drowned in the mud, and a lassie was strangled with telephone wires up the close which had long since been ravaged by fire. And the flat in which 6 pals had all overdosed stood bricked up hame to 6 tortured ghosts. Tam looked up to the boarded windies as thunderous wind shook slate and chimneys, and for a moment, lit by lightning, Tam saw faces, pale and frightened. Frozen and cold, soaked drooked and reeking, a distant light shone like a welcoming beacon. And at the far end of this silent cursed street, Tam could just hear the sound of a distant rave beat, which cut through the storm like the cry of the deed, and came for the church, which was now straight ahead. Luring him in to a sight hale and hearty, Tam found himself joining one hell of a party. The dance floor to the rafters was jumping, with flashing lights and music thumping, where in between the strobe light flashes danced magic blokes and witchy lassies. A loud and lustful devil's brood, a scanty clad and drenched in blood. And central to this visual feast, DJ'd old Nick in shape of beast, looming large o'er altar decks, inducing dance and Bacchic sex, amongst the hellish congregation, a frenzied, sick hallucination. Coffins stood round like open displays, showing the deed in their last clays. And by some devilish magic sleight, each in its horn held a strobe light. And by each flash, our Tam was able to see the DJ's altar table, strewn with grotesque tools forensic, murderous weapons, each intrinsic to some grim and gruesome crime. Knives, cautious guns, and bombs for mines. And by the altar standing there, a wired-up electric chair. And midst broken glass and razor blades lay chainsaws, nail bombs, and grenades. Free rusty spikes hung body parts, rancid bloody lungs and hearts. Each sight more gruesome than the last. As Tam could just but sit and stare, the greater grows his vile nightmare. The speakers loud and louder blast, the ravers dance more hard and fast. They moved until, like molten wax, both blood and sweat ran down their backs. And raucous frenzy girls bare-breasted, they should surely be arrested. Now Tam had they stayed young and bonny, Teenage lassies as sweet as honey, drenched in sweat and almost bare in skimpy see-through underwear. He'd gladly gie his bearhouse jacket to stand for hours just watching Glaket. But Tam saw jiving, palsied crones, their faces wrinkled bags of bones. To see the rotten, toothless folk, fair gave poor old Tam the book. But just before Tam took a scunner, he spied a right voluptuous stunner, a bird that held Tam's eyes entranced as on a podium she danced. A lap girl in a tennis skirt, with all the room did tease and flirt, with long dark hair and lustrous eyes, long-legged with shapely, well-toned thighs. Swinging her hips in dance hypnotic, her moves grew more and more erotic. Her gestures beckoned wild and lewd, a fast trance dance in semi-nude. Her tennis skirt as white as snow was bought a good 10 years ago. To wear for school by her fond auntie, and since become indecent scanty. A muse upon a podium, skirt barely covered out her bum. To see her was just pure amazing, lusty, busty, brash and brazen. And even Satan wanton watched, as on his decks he mixed and scratched. And where Tam was he just forgo, till he completely lost the plot, and rose out, "On ya sell, ya bitch!" And in an instant, all was pitch. As Tam scrambled frantic out the door, after him hell's legions poured. As vengeful bees buzz out their hive when honey rustlers each arrive. As hounds leave their cage starting blocks and rabid chase their hare of fox. As savage beasts in fierce stampede, the witches chased poor Tam full speed. So Tam rides with burning wheels, pursued by ragged unearthly squeals. Ah, Tam, despite your charm and patter, you'll fry in hell like fish in batter. In vain your bird screams for ye back, but soon she'll see ye, dressed in black. So come on, Tam, and grab your chance, ride faster than the Tour of France. For if o'er the bridge ye cross, your witchy pals are at a loss. For every devil's son and daughter can he cross the running water. As Tam's bike rode the final ridge, his front wheel had just made the bridge. The lap girl took her chance to strike and tore the back wheel off Tam's bike. The witches, having Tam assaulted, saw him soaring, catapulted. O'er the handlebars, o'er Tam flied, till he landed on the other side. Now, whoever this tale, true tale shall hear, listen well, with open ears. When next you want to trip or trance, think of a lap girl's lustful dance, think. You might not get a whiz you like. Remember Tam and his pinched bike.
Martin Docherty.
Moughlin's the name. And all the lassies Burns knew, I was the one he loved the most. I was his barmaid. So it's fair to say, I ken Rabbi better than anybody. And I'll no hold it against him that he never wrote a poem about me. At least no one you could read out loud, if you get my gist. Mind you, a lot's changed since our day. The price of beer for a start. The karaoke. What's that about? But I'll tell you one thing about the Bard. He had an opinion on everything, and he wasn't feared to try something new. Does it feel Kent that Rabbi Burns could spin a canny tale? It was an old Nance Tinnock's pub that he would rhyme and rail. Nae subject was too humble, nae personage too grand. And if he were here the now, he'd say, it's part of life's great plan. For though he praised the haggis for its honest sonsy face, and thanked the Lord for giving us meat in a coat, the Selkirk grace. When Scotland's ploughman poet pays labour's tack to rest, for lunch the history books attest, He could outside of Greg's. Holly Wolly might prefer a yum yum or a bun, or Tam O'Shanter sell his mare for a piece and tatty scone. But Abby didn't give a fig for the steak baker Scotch pie. Loud and proud he said, the vegan sausage roll, I'll try. Well, it's the talk of Scotland steamy. They fight to Govan Hill that the National Bard ate vegan and it didn't make him ill. There's folk at war in pubs and clubs will cry the vegan's needless. But you can't deny in Scotland that will soon be gone meatless. Now, Burns was never one to shun a controversial topic. A holy fairs and stuck-up hairs, he speared his verse undaunted. He tearfully need mourn the plundered praise of factory farming. Aye. And add a few before I come in here. I've got you. In the murderous arts of barbarous hearts, he'd curse for global warming. It's blood would surely bile to see us sitting on our earths, while drunk crews were guts to stange, crown the lift with methane farts. For proof of sight is faith by now, what to him was fellow mortal. By butcher's knives he saved a life, all nature's creatures equal. If the bard could pen one final ode, he surely would extol the halesome humble virtues of the vegan sausage roll. And the vegan Potter Saturday night would be a vision to behold, with all the family gather round for their meat-free textured vegetable soya protein. But I'm just a shilpit barmaid who sells snappy to the drinkers. My head's known a banknote, and I'm not much of a thinker. Being I can see it coming, the underclasses and the upper, all toasting Scotland's favourite son at the vegan Burns supper. I actually managed to get one. Good for 2 days. Just for this moment. It is a real vegan sausage roll. Fair fire on his son's face. Great chieftain of the vegan race. About the more you take your place, you didn't earn. Oh, meatless sausage full of grace, his langs not earn. They grown in shelves and grapes you fill. You've never made a body ill. You help put money in the till in time of need. Say, oh, look, one, you greasy poke. My face, your feet. Is there the Irish French ragout, or pudding black, or rabbit stew, or sausage meat with Matthew spew with perfect scholar? Looks Dunn with sneer and scorn for view, on sick a dinner. Oh, vegan wonder. That was Bundy's ode to the vegan sausage.
Together at the foot, John and your bonny brow was fair, but now your brow is bent down, your locks are like the snow, and blessings on your frosty pow. John Anderson, my Joe John, John Anderson, my Joe.
Go ahead.